Flickers in the Dark Episode 26, Lost Keepsakes.
Ever since my brother and I explored the remains of that old amusement park, he's been different. If I hadn't chugged an entire flask of energy drink, maybe none of this would have occurred. Nathan, my younger brother, and I used to do everything together. Our personalities were poles apart, yet we were inseparable. We were adventurers, daring to explore what most people avoided. We had saved for months for our annual exploration trip. This year's target was a dilapidated amusement park that was shut down decades ago due to a mysterious incident. Nathan had a knack for these eerie places. It excited him more than it did scare him. Our adventures started off normal, with us exploring the decaying rides, graffitied walls, and souvenir shops filled with dusty remnants of the park's glory days. But things changed when Nathan decided to investigate an old fortune teller's tent. Growing up, Nathan had always been a bit of a kleptomaniac. It was a nasty habit that he had mostly grown out of, but when he saw a tarnished silver pocket watch amongst the fortune teller's abandoned possessions, he couldn't resist. He quickly pocketed the artifact. We left the amusement park, but the mood between us was tense. I felt like I was sitting beside a stranger, not my brother. When I asked him to stop at the first gas station we found, he didn't utter a word. The place seemed to appear out of nowhere. An old, dimly lit gas station nestled in a dense forest. Its decrepit structure stood as a blight against the otherwise beautiful wilderness. A neon sign flashed ominously with the word, "Stop," being the only discernible letters. I felt a sense of unease creeping up my spine. Walking in, the interior of the gas station was as creepy as its exterior. A damp, musty odor filled the air, reminding me of a neglected basement we once explored. The walls and shelves were stacked with odd items, none of them seemed to belong in a gas station. Feeling a sudden urge to use the restroom, I was stopped by a sign that read, "Restroom for paying customers only." I hastily scanned the aisles for something to purchase. My eyes landed on an old bag of trail mix, the only thing that looked remotely edible. Nathan, on the other hand, was fascinated by a display marked, "Local artisan work." It was filled with all sorts of strange trinkets. Nathan, fascinated, picked up a bracelet made of braided animal hair, a small drop of dried blood still clinging to the hairs. Leaving Nathan to his strange fascination, I paid for the trail mix and headed to the restroom. But as I exited, I realized Nathan was nowhere to be seen. I searched the store, his name echoing off the grimy walls, but there was no answer. Rushing back to our car, I found it empty, with the keys missing. Frantic, I ran back into the gas station, where I was hit by a familiar, nauseating smell. It was the same smell that permeated the fortune teller's tent. As I wandered the aisles, I could swear I heard someone moving around, but whenever I turned, there was nothing. Until I found Nathan's car keys, attached to a clump of knotted animal hair similar to the bracelet, hanging in the "Local Artisan Work" section. I didn't need to see the other trinkets to realize what they were, mementos of stolen items and their owners, processed in some unspeakable manner. Panicking, I threw down a few bills, grabbed the keys and fled. Driving back home alone was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. But the terror didn't end there. A week later, boxes started arriving at my doorstep, all containing pieces of clothing that belonged to Nathan. With each delivery, the pieces of clothing were becoming more stained and torn. The boxes smelled of that damp basement and the abandoned fortune teller's tent. Nathan hasn't returned, but these boxes are a constant reminder of the mistake we made. Every night, I fear what the next delivery will bring. Will it be another torn piece of clothing? Or will it be something much worse?